How do you get vital? As always, how do you be a man with more power, more aligned, more vision, more energy, so that you can accomplish all your dreams? And today we're going to talk about something that Joel Salatin and Ty Lopez talk about. Number one, how to have more energy, but number two, how to go on a treasure hunt for high quality food. You see, because not all food is considered equal. And so many people, I just listened to an amazing podcast. So many people are struggling in their health and struggling in their business, struggling with their energy because they don't have good food. They don't have good food in their kitchen. They haven't gone on the treasure hunt. They think that all avocados are the same, all peas are the same, all organic food is the same. It's not. So today I'm going to show you a little bit of the treasure hunting I've been doing because I just moved here to Miami. And so the thing about moving to a new place is that you have to find all the different stores that are going to have the most high quality produce, and you have to experiment, and it takes time and energy. But what Joel says, Joel is the number one agricultural, sustainable, renewable farmer in the United States. He's actually going to be working on the board of agriculture to be a leader, and he's been doing it for 40 years. Ty Lopez's mentor. And what he says is most people, they allocate so much time and money to entertainment and things that don't enhance their life, the things that actually keep them stuck. And he says, take that time and money for you, your family, your girlfriend, take that time and money and allocate it to better food, going on a treasure hunt, finding organic gardens, organic farms, wherever you can buy the best food possible. And if you don't have that around you, which you probably do, it's just you haven't done a treasure hunt, you haven't valued it enough to be a treasure hunt, that you should go to every single organic grocer in your area. You know, like me, I have Whole Foods, Milliams Market, I have the Fresh Market, I have a couple of like Middle Eastern markets around here. And so it's a hobby of mine. Rollerblade there, check out where to buy the best food possible. So now I know exactly where to get the highest quality kefir, the highest quality produce and vegetables, frozen vegetables. I know where to get my butter, I know where to get my yogurt, I know where to get my meats, okay? And I go out of my way to get that because food is what builds your body. Food is what builds your mind. And the difference between good food and bad food isn't just a little, it's tremendous. It's tremendous. You're eating eggs. Well, if you're eating organic, pasture farmed, it's going to be completely different than just normal eggs. And if you're buying, listen to this, if you're buying organic from a farmer who actually took care of his chickens, eating on real ground, not corn, not wheat, not this BS, they found that the eggs have 5 to 10 times more nutrients. So you gotta check out what's really happening with you and your food because it's not the same food. And once you get real food into your diet, everything changes. I gotta show you. Even simple things like avocados. You can be eating trash avocados. I went through like 4 or 5 different brands of avocados to find real avocados. You'll feel it in your body. I can eat 2 or 3 of these with a full serving of my other food and not feel heavy. It digests quicker. This has everything to do with your energy, your vitality. As simple as going on a treasure hunt to find real food. So I'm passionate about this because before you can eat an avocado that just has like this spongy feeling to it. It doesn't melt in your body. It doesn't integrate. It's bullshit food. And so same thing with olive oil. Let me show you some of the foods. This was like a cheap $15 olive oil that I got from the Fresh Market. Not the same. I go on Amazon, treasure hunt. I found this, Atlas, 4.7 stars. This digests differently. This makes your stomach feel different. This has a different taste. And so, you know, there's a lot of different things that you can do to screen out different foods. It gets kind of complicated, but in the end, to simplify it, you can just go through different products and look at the ratings, look at the reviews, and test it with your own body because I'm not buying this one anymore. So yeah, it's been a month and I have hardly even used it because my body just doesn't feel as energized when I eat it. So you can treasure hunt all kinds of different foods. You know, I treasure hunted organic spices. You have to treasure hunt organic spices. And I keep all my containers, you see? I keep all my containers and I just put organic stuff in there. Okay, I buy in bulk. So let me show you. I'll buy organic thyme in bulk, organic black seed And sometimes I don't buy the biggest portions because it goes bad, so you want to keep it fresh. And so, grass-fed bone broth powder. I experimented with grass-fed coconut oil, organic coconut oil. You have to find the brands that work best for you. Experiment with it. See what kind of foods go well with your body. So it's both about quality of food, but it's also about what kind of food your body can eat a lot of, because everybody has different digestive enzymes. Like for me right now, Brazil nuts and pumpkin seeds, I love the taste, but if I eat too much, no sir, no sir. It takes like a day, but I have very low crashed energy when this is going through my intestines. So it takes 16 hours for it to go through your intestines. And so you can experiment with all these different foods. And, what happened with me is you just feel completely energized one day. And then when you eat bad food, you feel completely different the next day. And it can even seem like you're eating good food. But the whole point here is you experiment with different foods. You see, I got these from Whole Foods versus getting the same organic from Target. Not the same. It's not the same at all. So I'll get all my organic frozen food from Whole Foods. And I'm not going to get the garbage other food that comes from Target. Because even if it's organic in peas, it's not the same organic or peas, right? So this is a whole new wrinkle in my brain. I just want to share this with you because this makes a humongous difference in how you go about feeling in your day. Little things like that make a huge difference. So, back when I was a child, I used to live on the farm. This is probably how I should have started. I used to live on the farm with my grandpa. And one thing that I noticed is when I was there, I just felt absolutely full of energy, moving all day long on the farm, just exploring. We had 149 acres. And living on the farm, I still remember, we just walk around, we pick berries off of the plants and eat it right there. We pick apples right off of the trees and we eat it right there. They're about like that big, completely different from the GMO that you have in the store. And we would just explore all day long, running around, climbing the hills, just endless energy. Because, breakfast, we would have eggs from the chicken, directly from the chicken, with bread directly made in the oven. Everything was completely fresh. And you should see my grandpa. He's in his 80s, full head of hair, black hair, because he lived on a farm his whole life. Constantly eating that real food, fresh. We forget about fresh. And man, I still remember the taste of milk in Chile. Oh my goodness. We were in southern parts of Temuco in Chile. The milk, the dairy, the produce, the meat, the cheese, everything just it made you feel like a strong farmer. Like I was 11, I started to grow a beard. And I started to bulk up as like an 11-year-old. No, I'm just kidding. I wasn't growing a beard, but you know what I mean. I just felt absolutely fantastic. And the taste of the food is just completely different. So it's like you live on the farm and you can't be unhealthy. You cannot. And why is that? Why is it that you can live in the city and be unhealthy versus living on the farm? It just guides your life in the real natural way. You have to be healthy. Well, you can look at a couple things living on the farm. We'd always wake up like 5 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because we're going to sleep early. Why? Because we didn't have city lights. We didn't have all this. We didn't have computers. I was 11. We didn't have computers. We didn't have cell phones. When it got dark, what did you have? We lived very primitively. The first time we went there when I was like 10 or 11, we hardly even had electricity. Like we had gasoline, we had candles, the real deal. And so it wasn't like this completely teched up industry where you can stay up late. No. You get tired because the sun goes down, you have your last meal, there's not really too much to do. You just want to go to sleep so that the sun can rise and you can go out and live again. You can go out and have fun again. So there's actually a subconscious component to it to where, if you don't have TV or internet or computer, what you want to do is eat before the sun goes down, do a few chores, read a little bit, and then go to sleep. You're going to be going to sleep at like 8, 9 o'clock. You're waking up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That's natural. And so what happens? You get up, you get ready, you go outside, it's chilly, and you start tending to the farm as the sun is rising, 5 o'clock in the morning. You know what morning sun does to you. It's absolutely different than afternoon sun. Most people don't get out. Like today, I didn't even get out to get sun on my face until 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. That's completely different than low solar angled sun. That regulates your circadian rhythm completely different than if you're getting sun when it's like above 30 degrees of the horizon. So that's why we're having sleep issues. This is your hormones. We always talk about change your hormones, you change your life. Well, sleep is the ultimate pharmacy. Sleep is the ultimate injection of testosterone and growth hormone and healing hormones. It's the ultimate. You're getting hundreds of dollars of valuable hormones if you sleep right. Hundreds of dollars. People pay hundreds of dollars for these valuable hormones because they're magic. You see people go on testosterone, they magically transform. Not just their body, their personality, their mood, their energy. They get the charisma. That's why people get addicted to it. They say once you go on TRT, testosterone replacement therapy, you don't come back. And if you do, you're going to be pathetic. It's a lifelong decision. You see, I read about TRT. Testosterone transforms your life. People having midlife crises, depression, anxiety, they lose their libido, they lose their mojo, they're having relationship issues, midlife crisis, they're depressed in their job, they feel like a pussy, they feel like in Fight Club, the guy who's just like abused at work, nobody respects him. People take TRT and they feel like that it's a revitalization, it's a born again experience. And TRT isn't like steroid level hormones, okay? TRT is just a little bit of testosterone. And when you do that, it completely changes your life. People talk about their mentality. Look up Mark Ripto. He coaches thousands of people. He's probably the most famous strength coach in the world. Coaches thousands of guys going through all kinds of different things in their life. And when he sees people go on TRT, their life changes. Not just in the gym, outside the gym. Career, relationships, wealth, health. So I'm not a component, an advocate of TRT because it's expensive and it castrates you. You can become your own pharmacy. You want your balls to shrink, go on TRT. You want to pay hundreds of dollars a month on testosterone and a doctor, consultant to monitor your hormones for you, then by all means go on TRT. A lot of people do. No judgment, but it's not the best way. You can become your own pharmacy. So there's a natural way to boost your hormones, and this is what we talk about on the channel, because you get your hormones right by living according to nature, thinking according to health. Your hormones line up and everything's easy. People think it's hard to be in shape, it's hard to be lean, it's hard to be strong and muscular. Ask that to a farmer. Ask that to a farmer. Is it hard to be in shape and muscular and strong and happy? No. What are you talking about? Everybody's like this. You look at the Amish. Lowest percentage of chronic diseases, lowest percentage of depression than any other culture, pretty much. Why? Well, they're living according to nature. You look at anybody who's lived on a farm, completely changes your worldview, completely changes your health, completely changes your mind, because you're living according to nature. And that's the wonderful, the beautiful thing. And taking after their example, it revolutionizes your health. All right, so we're different, we're in a different environment, but we're the same biology, we're the same DNA. So how can you actually imitate living on a farm if you're not on a farm? Well, get away from the blue lights, get away from the entertainment at night, wrap up everything at like 9, 10 o'clock and have a routine. You have to set up your life, have books, have chores, have meditation, save things to do at night so that you're getting away. This is what I do. You're getting away from just like watching entertainment, artificially stimulating your brain, makes it hard to go to sleep, and all of a sudden you're going to sleep at midnight, 1 or 2 o'clock. This is a bad habit that I currently have. I'm going to sleep at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So, this is something that I'm practicing, okay? Everybody's practicing it, but what I'm doing now to alter that is saving myself an hour of reading, saving myself an hour of meditation and yoga at night, saving all my chores to be done at night, so that I turn off the computer. Maybe I have an audiobook while I do my chores. Well, I actually do that. But then I'll have 2 hours of just reading, studying. I'm studying Spanish and Portuguese right now. I'm studying scripts for my yoga teacher training. And I have things to do, and I do my yoga at night, meditation. I have things to do at night that are away from the lights. I dim all the lights. I turn on only very gentle, subtle light. I put on my blue light blocking glasses. And so that gives you time away from the screen. And then that makes your sleep so much deeper. And that makes you wake up so much better. And that's the secret to your hormones, right? People in fitness, they don't talk about sleep enough. It's like, why does nature force you to sleep a third of your life away? It must be kind of important, right? Why are we having mental health issues? Why are we having physical health issues? Why are people gaining fat so easily and stressed? Does it have to do anything with our sleep? The artificial levels of caffeine, artificial levels of blue light and EMFs that we're exposed to at night. Now, stress, how much does stress impact your sleep? Are people as mentally healthy? If not, why? It's like, you look at the communities in sociology that are having the lowest levels of disease, mental health problems. Why don't we imitate them? Well, what are they doing mentally that we aren't doing? They're connected to the earth. They're constantly in fresh air, water, connected to the earth. They're constantly moving, they're walking, they're carrying, they're lifting. They're constantly eating fresh food. They're constantly sleeping. Their exposure to artificial lights and technology is different. You know, the Amish don't have the technology, the computers, the phones. What they have is knowledge and community at night. What they have is family time. What they have is talking about scriptures. What they have is community. What they have is dancing and singing and music. How is that different from us? Well, we don't have any of those things. Do we have as much community, friendship? Do we have as much bonding time at night? No, we're distracted by a computer. And we downplay the importance of that. So we look at everything that they're doing for their health, their mind, their lifestyle, their spirituality, their community, their social lives. And if we can get closer to that, even if you're living in a city, you'll see the results. You'll see the similar, same results as much as you can imitate that. And so I'm actually planning to do an internship with Joel Salatin in his farm in Virginia. I actually want to go live with the Amish. I'm going to go live back in the ashram. So I have like a whole year planned out of returning back to nature. I'm returning back to farming. It's my deep love. I always loved farming, planting, gardening. Me and my dad did it like crazy. Farmers markets. It's my dream. I dream of having cows. I dream of having cattle. I dream of having chickens. You know, this is my dream board. You know, you look here, Joel Salatin and his cattle. The art, the beauty of Pokemon, how it inspired me, the cow. You look at organic farming and gardening. You know, these guys are going to be my mentors. I dream of this. Look at the beauty of this. And so when you really believe in something, you live your life according to it. And so I'm going to bring you guys on that journey over the next year. You know, I have a lease here that I'm going to finish out. I'm still learning a lot about business, sales, and marketing, because I want to be able to spread this stuff. I want to be able to spread the yoga that I learned. It's a 6-month Hatha yoga teacher training in India, in an ashram. And so I'm going to learn that. This is what the world needs, okay? The world needs the education of how the ancients saw diet and lifestyle, diet and mindset. But just by living it, you know, just by living on a farm, you'll get so much out of it. But for people who live in the city, how many people live in the city versus a farm? You can't live on a farm. That's why I'm going to bring it with the yogic perspective, how to bring this into your apartment, bring this into your city, bring this into you. You know, all these natural principles that completely change your life, you see? Because it's not just about losing fat, looking good. It's about your brain, it's about your energy, it's about your life. It's about happiness. It's about changing how you feel every single second of your life. Like, Tai Lopez talks about this. He says, Well, do you love your life? Do you love what you do? You spend most of your life at your job. Do you hate your job? Are you just like average about your job? Because the enemy of the great is the good. You just settle into just like this average life. You know, that's what the guy in Fight Club had, the protagonist. He just was living an okay life, but it kind of just trained him. It trains you. That makes the biggest difference on your energy. The only thing that matters in your life is your energy. The only thing that matters is how good you feel, and that's determined by your energy, your enthusiasm, how much juice you're getting out of life. Are you aligned with your destiny? Are you aligned with your Eulerian destiny? Are you aligned with what your soul is here to do? Or are you just copping out? Or are you just settling? Maybe you haven't given thought to it. Maybe you just feel like you're in a rut. Maybe you just feel like you're stuck. Well, start changing your energy so that you can break free from that. Changing everything about your diet, your mindset, your lifestyle, one piece at a time. You'll start getting enough energy to where you can tackle more and more problems, to where you'll actually be able to change the things that are grossly dysfunctional in your life. Like maybe your job that you feel like you need the money, you don't know how to break free. Well, start fixing the little parts of your life, your diet, your sleep, your energy, your habits, your bad habits. Start breaking each one of those bad habits one at a time. All of a sudden you have the energy, the creativity is flowing into you. You come up with solutions that you didn't even know existed. Like I'm still recovering from this potential candida and mold that was in my gut. And so at certain times I'll just feel like I'm dragging, but you push through. You still do the walk. You still eat right. You still sleep as good as you can. You still read the books. You still keep up your routine as best as you can. And little by little, you'll have insights come to you. You keep on doing the Silva meditations for habit shifting. You keep on doing the Silva meditations to send up a prayer to higher intelligence for intuition, so that you can start getting these answers to your intuition for these insights that you need. You don't know how to change your life. And I started a wonder journal. As I started doing these meditations and the yoga and the deep heartfelt prayers, combined with everything earnestly aligned in my life to make a difference for the service of humanity, for the uplifting of my life, uplifting of human consciousness. I'll do anything. You know, the sincerity of Abel, getting over all the dark side of the emotions like Cain. Cain was vengeful, he was angry, he was jealous at his brother. He didn't give the right sacrifices to life to be able to yield the real good fruit. See, Cain, archetypal story, his sacrifice was rejected by God because his heart wasn't there. It was just the stereotypical things that people do. You know, well, I go to work. Well, you don't give the proper sacrifice. You don't give the proper time. You don't give the proper attention. You don't give the proper energy. You don't give the proper love, enthusiasm, honor, and service. You know, life is no game. You know, if you're like Cain, you become resentful when you don't find success in the world, when your sacrifice is rejected by God, by the world. You know, you think, I went to school, I put in my hours, I put in the time, I put in the money. Well, that's not how life works. Sometimes life can literally see into your heart. Sometimes life can literally see, well, your intention wasn't right, and so that manifests in not giving the same level of servitude. That results in not having the same relationships. That results in your character not forming in the same way. You don't have the same authenticity, sincerity, passion. You don't make the same relationships. All of a sudden, you realize how it's working. What makes your success? Relationships, passion, authenticity, great service, great value provided, constantly improving to make this a legendary service. This is your life. You give everything. You give your first fruits. That's the symbolism of sacrifice in the Bible. And that's what Abel was able to do. Cain, no, he didn't do that. He made the outward gesture that made it seem like he did that, but deep down on the inside, that's not what he did. And so he got rejected by God. He got resentful. So how many people feel like this? So what's the solution? Be like Abel. Get over the rejection and the pain. Get over the resentment, the jealousy. Get over it. Humble yourself and realize it was because you weren't aligned correctly. Maybe it's that you didn't persist. Maybe it's that you didn't just persist. Persistence. You never stop. This is your destiny. You burn the boats and live or die. This is how you live. Is it a worthy ambition? Does it uplift humanity? Does it uplift even one other person? Are you in alignment, or is this like a egotistical, self-centered thing? Or are you using your talents for the service of humanity? Right? All these things matter. All these things register in your subconscious and create your character, create your relationships, create your health, create your energy. Okay? So this is what I realized the hard way. I've messed up in so many ways, so many times, but everybody does. So we take the wisdom from the story, we move forward. It's all about your energy. It's all about your vitality. It's all about your alignment. This is what I realized when I realized I wasn't working the jobs that I was aligned with. For so long, I worked jobs I didn't care about. I worked night shift jobs, and it crushed me. Or sometimes I was working the jobs that I was in, but it wasn't from a place of being expansive. It wasn't from a place of passion. I was burnt out. I was bored in that job, doing body work, massage therapy too much. And I knew it was time to move on. But I stayed for the money for too long. But you wake up, I woke up, I realized, it's time to expand. It's time to get into health coaching. It's time to get into talking more about the internal world, internal realm of health, positive emotion, stress, alignment, integrity, living your life. Yoga talks about all this stuff. Living according to your dharma. That's what the yogis call it. Tai Lopez calls it Eulerian destiny. Yoga calls it dharma. All these classic principles of how to live the right way. Buddhism talks about this too. The right path towards nirvana. And if you don't take it, life is suffering. So we have to live in integrity if we want to live a life of success, a life of vitality, a life of health even. It's not so much about biohacking, even though you do use a lot of biohacks. But the ultimate biohack is how you live your life. It's how you think. It changes your hormones. Your relationship to nature, your relationship to people, your relationship to your mind and stress. We hammer this down. ProjectNewMan. This is the new way of approaching health. There's a huge problem. You already know. There's a huge problem. That sunlight felt great. There's a huge problem in America. Look at our mental health. Look at our physical health. Look at the divorce rates. Look at our relationships. Look at our loneliness levels. We have such loneliness and so little friends compared to other countries. You look at Denmark, Sweden, Scotland, you look at Finland, you look at the Scandinavian countries, the average amount of friends that they have is like 12. Deep social connections that they connect with on a weekly basis. In America, it's like 2, maybe 3. We're disconnected. And it's a problem. We're not being taught these things. There's a deficiency, there's a toxicity in this culture, and it has to change. It's poison. It's poisoning us. The food is poisoning us. The culture is poisoning us. We're gonna fall if we don't change. If we don't change, we're gonna fall. The great America, let's not let it fall. It's up to you and me to change our culture, change our eating habits, our voting habits, what we spend money on, what we talk about. Are we just gonna keep on vegging out and living isolated lives, not speaking our truth, without community, without joining clubs, without getting back in touch with our tribe, our religion, spreading this basic universal truth about health and energy and integration, living productive, creative, intuitive lives instead of lonely, isolated, segmented, just average or below average, fake, wearing a social mask, eating unhealthy, not paying attention to your sleep, just coping. Look at all the drugs and alcohol. Look at the weed consumption. What are people escaping? Themselves. Their lack of integrity. And it's not your fault. Everybody falls into the overeating and the porn, and the social media binging, and the video games, and the watching excessive amounts of Netflix. Everybody gets into those modes. It's a weird world that we live in, but it's because the culture has not taught you the right things. Culture hasn't taught us how to really thrive. Culture hasn't taught us about stress in our mind. Culture hasn't taught us about dharma or Eulerian destiny. Culture hasn't taught us about what happens when you live a life that's not aligned with morality. You're conscious. You know, a lie detector test even shows your physiology responds to a lie in an adverse way. It creates stress. Every time you lie, every time you're fake, every time you're inauthentic, your voice changes. Why does your voice change? Because your body reacts. Your heart rate changes. It affects your heart. How is it that we're able to detect a lie physically? Because your body reacts to every single thing that you're doing. Your words, your thoughts, your actions. It affects your health. The placebo effect. Dr. Joe Dispenza has this amazing book, You Are the Placebo. Common medical and scientific knowledge that your body and your expectations can transform sugar pills into medicine if you think that it's medicine. Therefore, whatever you think is creating medicine or poison in you. Plenty of research on this. American Association of Mind-Body Medicine. You can read volumes of books on this. But is society teaching us this? Nada. Nope, they're teaching you algorithms and geometry, which has its place, but after you learn about yourself, your health, your vitality, your mindset, how to live in integrity. Our culture has gotten this wrong, and we're suffering because of it, and you see it. It's not your fault. It's the dark side of society. It's the Empire, like in Star Wars. It's the dark side. And we have to overthrow it. We have to be the rebellion and the Jedis that overthrow it. That's ProjectNewMan. Seeing through the matrix, breaking out of what society has blinded us as to what it has to be. No, what about eating from farmers markets? What about living according to a farmer's lifestyle? What about getting our feet on the ground? What about doing different forms of exercise where you're outdoors, in nature? Why are the surfers so healthy? Constantly in touch with nature, constantly moving. Don't underestimate the power of being in touch with nature. The society isn't teaching us this. You know, I went so much of my life out of touch with these simple truths, and I suffered so much because of it. You know, I'm constantly sharing my stories of pain and suffering. You know, working a night shift job, get depressed. Not living in society, being a lone wolf, get depressed. You know, eating all kinds of artificial food and doing the wrong types of exercise, just long-term jogging as a teenager, eating the wheat products, the cereal products, and what happens? Depressed, isolated, acne, skin issues, jitters, eye twitches, you know, going after all the supplements in the food industry after I got into health. What happens? Worse acne, worse facial twitches, worse anxiety. You know, learning the power of hope from having a horrible back injury and then getting a mentor who said, your day's coming. Keep hope alive. The power of hope on my mindset. You know, what happened after college when I had an existential crisis and I broke up with my girlfriend for 6 years, and then I didn't know what to do with my life. I lost my life purpose and what that does when you're just working a night shift job for the money. How I got depressed, how I got fat, how I fell into such a dark hole when I lost even my religion, became an atheist. I saw firsthand how that affected my health. I saw firsthand how that impacted everything about my health, everything about my life. What about when I went to India and got attacked by bacteria in my stomach? Had to learn about gut health. Why isn't society teaching us all these things? I was completely unarmed. It's like sending a kid out into a wilderness unarmed with a stick. That's what society's doing. Good luck, kid. Good luck. No mentor, no guide, no knowledge about health or your mindset. You know, hopefully people have parents. Hopefully people have a church. Hopefully people get educated, real education, so that they have a fighting chance. So that they're not alone in the wilderness. They have their tribe. They have their friends. They have a sword. They're trained in archery. They know how to hunt. You know, I had an okay upbringing. I really did. But my parents were guardians. My dad didn't teach me how to hunt. My dad didn't teach me how to cope with my wounds. Neither did my mom. They were just guardians until I was 12. And after that, no relationship, no deep talks, no teaching, no mentorship. You know, By the time you're not a kid, some of us just have guardians. You know, God bless them. They loved me, they provided for me. But then it's up to you. So we have to be brothers, sisters, fathers, and mothers to each other, or else. Because society isn't being that father and mother to us. Instead, they're the tyrant. They're not protecting us. We have a military that seems like it's protecting us, but on the inside, the businesses are ravening wolves in sheep's clothing. And the educational system of the government, completely crooked, completely backwards. They don't teach you anything about sales, building a personal brand, persuasion, psychology. They don't teach you about relationships. They don't teach you about mental health, emotional IQ, social IQ. They can't just throw you out there into the wilderness with a stick. So that's what ProjectNewMan is for, is to be a brother, sister, mother, father, to everybody. That's what I wish I had, going through all these health crises, going through these mental health crises, these integrity life crises, not understanding what it is to be a truly integrated man, growing in character, on a spiritual mission, not just meditating in the room, going out into the world, making an impact, being involved, enriching. That's what it's all about. And thank God for the people who sent out this message, my online mentors. God bless you. Everybody part of this movement, God bless you. Everybody spreading this knowledge. You're the salt of the world. You're the preservative. You're the flavor. You're what's adding zest. You're what's preventing people from decaying from this toxic world. God bless you. This is the change that we need. This is what removes the suffering. This is what makes us have amazing, wonderful, fantastic, adventurous, creative, intuitive lives that we can build and create something beautiful together. Life should be simple and free, away from the tyranny, away from the propaganda, away from the lies, away from the vampires that just want to suck you dry at the expense of your soul. No, together we can create an amazing society. And here we are. And look at the potential that we have. We're not going to give in. We're not going to let those vampires, those barbarians, those tyrants to keep on abusing, lying, neglecting us. And together, we're going to build such a wonderful life, one life at a time, one day at a time. That is our mission. So God bless you, you strong student, apprentice, you Jedis, all of you noble men out there, living according to truth, nobility, and the upliftment of all humanity towards greater creativity, intelligence, joy, physical strength and stamina, simplicity, being in the moment, and creating a better life, a simple life, a wonderful life, a loving life, a natural life together. We are united in this together. God bless you. I'm gonna go to the gym. You have a wonderful and strong day. I'll see you in the next video.